Hello, everyone. My name is Leo Luera with the Orange County Realtors. Today, we're going to be talking about Digital Ink 2.0, your preferred signing service. This is a new change for us because this rolled out April 15, 2020. Currently, you'll be having choices between Digital Ink 1.0, which is a free service, to the new Digital Ink 2.0, another free service, and eventually that'll be replacing the one that we're accustomed with. For those who are using DocuSign, you're also going to note you can be able to take advantage of it because it's a free service and you're going to notice it's very similar to what you're already using. So let's get started. The first thing that I'm going to have us look at is my zip forms. So first thing we want to do is already be logged into zip forms. We want to go into the settings. So we go in the top right where it says me. So I'm going to click me right over here. And then the choice that we'll be clicking will be profile and settings. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. And then I slide right over here to settings. And then I want to change it from Digital Ink 1.0 to Digital Ink 2.0. And then I click save right over here. So this will be my default preferred signing service. See, users preferences updated. So now I go and click transactions. So I've already started a transaction. This one here, Charlene's new home. And this is just a practice one, a fictitious one that we'll be practicing how to use Digital Ink 2.0. I've already picked out the parties, Charlene client, and I've already picked out the documents that we're going to use. In today's, we're going to be using the residential purchase agreement and this fictitious one, this PDF, where we have to load the signatures on there. We are pretending that this one is provided to us by the broker, the listing agreement form B. You will not find this in the all forms. This is just a fictitious one that I've added. So to beginning a signing process, we come over here to where it says e-sign, and we click this. The first thing we want to do, notices it's a new signing session, so we click new. We choose the residential purchase agreement, and we also choose the listing agreement form B. We click close. You will notice they've already been added here, just like it appears in Digital Ink 1.0. Now we click next. Now we choose our client. It's going to be Charlene client right over here, and we click close. So we see that Charlene client is there. And now we click next. So far, everything we have seen has matched up with what we expected with Digital Ink 1.0, including the option for the cyber safety, where it's $5 for every single transaction, regardless of the number of signers. We have a video that does talk about this, but we won't discuss it right now. So we're going to decline this at this time since we are just practicing. So the next step is going to be adding the signatures on the forms. And now we wait a moment before we go to the next stage. And you will notice that this has changed just a little bit. And if you're thinking that it does take a little bit longer for it to process, it does. The California Association of Realtors is working on that to improve the speed. Now, one thing that we do notice is that the form itself is moved all the way here to the left instead of being here to the right, and the tools are right over here. So we have a choice of all the signers. So if we had more than one signer, you would see them here. Our tools that we're going to be adding in case we need to drag and drop anything onto the forms. If you need to mark up anything, if you need to zoom. And this big one here is the pages. So right now you can flip between the different pages if you want to review it. Or if you want to go all the way to the last page, you can do so. If you want to go to the first page, you can be able to do so. Or if you want to go to any page in between, like say page 10, it's right there. So let's start at the very beginning. So as you go through this form, and we still encourage you to go through the form because more than 90% of the spots are corrected with the correct areas where they have to sign. But if you review it and you notice like, hey, there's something missing, like for example, I'm missing the date, that's not a problem. You just click drag and drop and then click the date and you just drag it right over here and place it there. Well, let's make it a little bit easier there. And you can also adjust the size if you wanted to, bigger or smaller. And that's it. And once we're satisfied with everything here, we would also want to make sure that all the pages are fine. But one thing I want to make sure is that the last page, this is the page that we added that has no signatures or initials whatsoever. So first thing we want to do is drag and drop the sign here. And we're going to put it right over here. And you can also go drag and drop the date, but you can also click this gear. When you click the gear, you can also put in flip vertical, flip horizontal, add date stamp, add timestamp, add name block. That's new. So we grab the person's name, it's name stamp, and it's right here. So you no longer have to add that in a different screen like we used to in Digital Ink 1.0. So once we're done and satisfied with this, now we can go and click send. Now we can create a custom invitation email, or we can just send the email with the standard information that it sends out. I'm going to just click send invitations. And as you see here, it's in progress, signature packet 1, and now we wait for Charlene, the client, to receive the email. So for meantime, we contact Charlene, the client, let her know, I have completed this session. You're going to be expecting an email from us to be able to go over these set of documents, and you want to make sure that you review the documents with her. So I'm going to click this and see if she's received the email. And this gives you time to make sure that you have her on the phone, so that way she's aware that she does not start signing without going over this with you. I'm opening up the email. This is what Charlene, the client, is going to review. And she's going to click this blue button here, says start signing. So I'm going to maximize the page. And she's going to be waiting for it to load. So it does take a little bit long to be able to load all the information. This gives you an opportunity to tell her what the forms that she's going to be receiving and what to expect in the forms. Residential purchase agreement, as well as that last page that we provided, the listing addendum. So the first thing that she's going to see is the type of fonts that she wants to use when signing. So she can either choose drawing her own signature, she can do so. And as you can see, I cannot do it well with a mouse. So we are going to close that. But you can have her choose to do her own signature if she wanted to do so. If you wanted to choose a different font, here's the different fonts that are available. So just for practicing, we're going to choose the top one, and I'm going to click save. And that's what's going to look like when she signs it. Now, you want to encourage her to read this and this, so that way she's aware of her rights. Once she has done so, then you can encourage her to click accept. So far, it's pretty easy and pretty straightforward. Now you go over this first page with her because you're doing your fiduciary duty to make sure that she understands what she is signing. And then you have her click here. So it went automatically to the second spot. So you want to have her scroll back up and have her review all this other information first before she clicks the second part. And then click next. So as you see here, it's automatically going to the next spot. Now, to save time, we're just going to be clicking where your client's going to be initialing or where your client is going to be signing. And as you see here, in this one right here, this one, instead of highlighted red, it's highlighted blue for a reason. If I click it, it now gives me an option of accepting, decline, or cancel. So if my client, Charlene the client, wants to accept it, she just clicks accepts. If she clicks this one, which is very similar, if she clicks this to say that she declines this, she can do so, and so on. But before we go on, I want to point out this is the progress bar. It shows how far we've gone. We have 12 of 18 mandatory fields and signatures done. So to save time, I'm just going to go ahead and finish clicking here. And now down here is where Charlene client's name is here. And this is the signature field that we had added, so we click here. And as you see, 18 of 18 have been completed. So she can complete the signing process. She can stay and review it one more time, or she can reset it and start from scratch. we're going to go ahead and complete the signing session. And it says here, thank you, you have successfully reviewed and signed. So we click OK. So this page here is offered by ZipLogix. This is offering her a Zip community account for no cost. So this will allow her to be able to sign in, to be able to access her forms. And if this is an individual that you're going to be working with on a regular basis, you may want to encourage her to sign up for a Zip community account. Now, there's three ways to sign in for this. You can have her sign in with her Facebook account, her Google Plus account, or she can create her own account. We encourage you to create the account rather than using Facebook and Google Plus, because what happens is that if she uses these two, this allows these two to collect information that she is doing real estate transactions. Not a lot of information, but just showing that she's doing some kind of real estate transactions of some sort, and they will be gearing advertisements as a result of her, as a result of this. So as a rule of thumb, we want to keep that information away from other parties. You just want to encourage her to create her own account. For meantime, Miss Charlene client has received an email. And this is the type of email that she'll receive, and she can download the forms here if she wanted to view them. Now that is what she is going to receive. Now on the other hand, when we look at our dashboard, our dashboard of transactions, we'll notice that we go back into it and we go back into our documents. We will see this new folder has been added, the signature packet 1. If we click it, we see that it's been authenticated. The residential purchase agreement, the listing agreement form B, and the signing certificate. So if we open this, for example, the residential purchase agreement, we will see that in just a moment that all the fields have been signed. As you see here, signature, and we're going to zoom in on that a little bit. So we'll show the date and the time that it was signed. And we'll also see that the date has been added there as well. And you can go through the pages all over again just to make sure they all look fine. If there's any mistakes, you can be able to send over another signature session to so that we can be able to send the proper documents over to whoever you need to send them to. And this is that one listing form B, the fictitious one that we sent out with, of course, Charlene's name on there and her signature there as well. This last one is a signing certificate. Do not delete this one. This shows proof that this client had signed all these documents electronically. So in case there is ever a dispute, you have this information here. And as you can see, it is a much easier version than Digital Ink 1.0 had provided. And I guess that is all to show you today. So once again, Digital Ink 2.0 is very similar to what we're used to with Digital Ink 1.0. Both are free, both are very straightforward, but there's some different changes that have been added to make it easier for you to be able to use it with your client. And also for DocuSign users, you have probably noticed that it looks very similar to what you're used to with DocuSign. So if you have any questions regarding this service, feel free to contact myself. My name is Leo Loera. You can also reach us at the Orange County Realtors. It's leo@ocrealtors.org. You can also contact the California Association of Realtors in case you have any problems. And that is all. So please do check on this video over and over again and practice and practice and practice so that way you become an expert at Digital Ink 2.0.